Hi, I'm Gabriel and this is Learning English Path. And in this lesson, I'm going to teach you 5 things that you must do in your English business presentation. I've taught business English to many English learners around the world, and I know that one thing that scares many of you is delivering a presentation in English. And listen, even English speakers are often afraid of making a presentation. So it's very understandable. And I have given quite a lot of business presentations myself over the years, okay? So I know what I'm talking about. A lot of them have been very good, but some of them have been bad too. And so I want to share with you my experience and wisdom when it comes to making a business presentation in English. And before I do that, I do want to encourage you to take a look at the English Speaking Club, where you get to be in a group, a voice chat group on your phone with me every day, and practice your English speaking and your English conversations whenever you want, okay? And if you are in business English, this will be very valuable to you because I can help you to prepare through different conversations every day. Every day we have a new speaking topic in English in the conversation, in the voice chat group, okay? So if you get that now, I can help you to practice your grammar, your pronunciation, your vocabulary will improve and grow, and your speaking will be much better. And that's for only $29 a month, or just $248 for the 1-year membership, which is an amazing deal because you get to be in the group for less than $1 a day. All right. Also check out my free PDF guides to 101 songs to learn English. And please subscribe to this YouTube channel if you haven't already. Give the video a like and leave a comment. All right. So what is the first thing that you need to make sure that you do when you are giving a business presentation in English? It is to introduce yourself and to introduce the topic, all right, from the beginning of the presentation. Now, I'm not even including the planning stage, okay? Of course, you have to do a lot of planning for your presentation. And if you're using a PPT, then you need to make sure that you have your visual aids there on the presentation. If you're not, that's okay too. But one thing you need to make sure is that everyone who's listening to you knows your name and knows who you are, and from the beginning knows what you're talking about, right? So, of course, if you're in a room with people who already know you, then you can just tell them what you're talking about. Introduce the topic. But you need to make sure that there is a little introduction at the beginning, all right? Number 2 is you need to project your voice. Project your voice. Now, this means even when you're speaking English, you need to make sure that your voice is heard at the back of the room. Okay, so maybe you have a microphone, in which case that's great. But most presentations, you won't have a microphone, right? So you just need to make sure that you're speaking in a natural tone, okay? You're not speaking with the same flat monotone voice the whole way, because that's not very engaging to listen to, right? But if you can speak naturally and project your voice so that when you want to emphasize something, you can. And when you want to maybe be a little bit quieter, you can do that too. All right. But even when you're quiet, people should be able to hear you. And to do that, you need to make sure that you can project your voice. Now, that comes from the chest area. All right. Not the throat. If you're shouting, if you're using your throat, that means you're shouting. Okay. You don't want to shout. You want to project from as low as you can. If you can do it from your stomach, right? If you can project your voice from there, that's maybe even better. But I like the chest, all right? So that's number 2. Number 3 is to build rapport. Build rapport with your audience. Rapport is your personal connection with them, all right? You need to build some kind of either friendly or funny or just a decent kind of connection with the people you're talking to. So maybe you want to ask them questions, right? Maybe you want to tell a joke. Maybe you want to do what I've got as number 4. Number 4 is to incorporate an anecdote. What is an anecdote? An anecdote is simply a story, right? A personal story, or a story that you've heard from somewhere else. So to incorporate it means to include it, to have it in your presentation. If you are only presenting numbers and graphs, well, that's going to be a little bit boring, and it's not something that people are going to remember. All right. But if you include something that people can make some kind of personal connection with, usually a story or maybe a joke or something that happened when you were making the presentation, planning the presentation, something that happened to you, that's an anecdote. So incorporate that, and it will be much more interesting, much more engaging for people to listen to you and to even participate in the presentation itself. And number 5 is leave time for questions. Leave time for other people, for the audience to ask you some questions. Maybe you forgot to mention something, right? It happens. You never know when you're going to forget something, right? Otherwise, you wouldn't have forgotten it. So, leave time for questions. And this, even if there are no questions, this also means that you have finished on time. One thing you don't want to do is you don't want to keep talking and people in the audience are looking at their watch and then eventually you're told, okay, please, that's enough. Stop before you've actually finished. You don't want that to happen. You want to make sure you finish early, and you want to leave some time for questions. All right. Always leave them wanting a little bit more. All right. All right. So please, like I said, like the video and leave a comment, subscribe, click that notification bell, and check out the English Speaking Club. All right, my friend, keep learning and keep going.